Hello, my name is Sarah Crick, and I am the Nursing Director here at Henderson Community College. Thank you for taking time to review this pre-admission conference that is filled with a lot of important information about our nursing program here at Henderson Community College. If you have any questions following this presentation, please feel free to reach out to me. We hope after hearing this presentation that you will gain a better understanding about our admission requirements and our admission process, what the nursing program looks like, and why Henderson Community College is a great choice for you. So I want to take the next few minutes to describe the admission requirements and explain what selective admissions is. So our nursing program is selective admissions, meaning that even though a candidate may meet all the admission requirements, that does not guarantee that they will be admitted to our program. It is extremely competitive, and what will happen is with selective admissions, that point scale that we'll discuss in just a few moments, we take the highest ranking point candidates to fill the seats each fall and spring. So while we do have admission requirements, it would benefit you to do as well as you could on selective criteria on that point scale to make you a more competitive applicant. So for selective admissions, we have deadlines. These are strict deadlines. So even if you submit an application and your requirements to Ms. Walker a day after this deadline, you would not be eligible for that consideration. So March 1st is the deadline for fall consideration, and September 1st is the deadline for our spring cohort consideration. Requirements to be eligible for consideration. Again, these are just requirements that you have to meet to be eligible. That does not guarantee selection into our program. Unfortunately, every admission cycle, we do have to deny candidates who do meet requirements but maybe did not rank high enough to fill those seats. So some of the requirements that are must be met to be eligible for consideration is a 2.5 cumulative GPA. And you can see in that parentheses about a student cannot receive points for both high school and college. They are going to, use high school if we do not have 12 hours of college credit. And then students with less than a 2.5 GPA cumulative are ineligible to apply to our program. So even if you submit an application, if that GPA falls below that 2.5, you will get an automatic denial letter. You will request a nursing application from Ms. Walker. She is our administrative assistant. She is the person who you will contact if you have any questions about your application file. She is the one who will compile all of the records and give those to the Nursing Admissions Committee and ranks all the candidates and make sure that all candidates' applications are complete. So you will request a nursing application from Ms. Walker and return that to her before that deadline. You do need to submit official results of either the HCC, TEAS, ACT, or SAT. So we accept those 4 exams. If you do not have one of those 4 within 5 years of applying, then you would need to take one of those exams. We do have benchmark scores that you have to meet. If you fall below a benchmark score on one of those exams, then you would be ineligible to apply. And let's say that you've taken multiple exams. Ms. Walker will choose the one that you scored highest on to give you the greatest benefit. Okay, so if you took the HCC and TEAS and you scored a benchmark on both of those, she's going to give you whichever one will give you more points. You cannot get points for multiple though. You must have a current application submitted to Henderson Community College. You must make sure that we have record of your high school transcripts or any transfer credit if you've gone to another college before Henderson Community College. And then any student with any disciplinary violations in any college within the KCTCS system or who have transcripts from other colleges indicating conduct violations will be considered ineligible for our program. So on our nursing webpage, you will find that nursing admissions point scale. This is the nursing admissions point scale calculation that is used to calculate total points for each applicant. We make this visible to all applicants so that they can tally their points on their own. Please do not contact Ms. Walker to tally those points for you. As you can imagine, we have a tremendous amount of applicants, so she cannot calculate points for each and every student. So this is something that we make visible to anyone, so you are able to calculate your own points. Now, that does not mean that you know what other candidates' points may be. And it can vary from cycle to cycle. There's just no way of knowing if your points are going to be highly competitive versus someone else, because we just don't know each cycle how many applicants we're going to have and what that point total span will be. But you are welcome to calculate your own points, so you can see that point scale is again available on the nursing webpage. You do need to meet a minimum benchmark on the SAT, ACT, TEAS, or HESI to be eligible. You do have to have a 2.5 on as your GPA to be eligible. You have to have C's or higher in those science and math classes to be eligible. So there are some certain criteria that must be met to even make sure that you are eligible to apply. And if you have any questions on that, just make sure that you email Ms. Walker, and she will, she's very helpful to let you know, yes, you do meet qualifications to apply, or no, you are not eligible to apply. And you can meet with Ms. Walker or our nursing advisor in the START Center to discuss your application and if you meet requirements or not to be eligible to apply. So we do have candidates that are selected and may be admitted contingent upon successful completion of some additional work. So these are the other things that must be completed prior to the entry into Nursing 101 and to be fully accepted into our nursing program. So you must have Bio 137 earning a C or higher finished and completed before entry into Nursing 101 and being fully accepted. You must have Psych 110. You must have quantitative reasoning at the AA or AS level, earning a C or higher. You are strongly encouraged to take Math 150, which is college algebra. We strongly encourage college algebra because most of the RN to BSN schools need you to have that college algebra complete. So we definitely want you to take, encourage and highly recommend that Math 150. So it is one less class you have to take when you are going for your RN to your BSN. You must also be certified in an approved CPR course. So we want you to have an American Heart Association BLS provider certification, and that is prior to your full acceptance and entry into Nursing 101. And you must have the Nurse Aid 100 course or its equivalency within the past 5 years, or have an active SRNA certification by the first day of entry or re-entry into the Nursing 101 course. So again, you could be accepted into the nursing program without having these items. However, to be fully accepted, you must get these items complete before Nursing 101 begins. So what does our nursing program look like? So I have just pulled, if you would follow a 2-year curriculum, what the nursing program would look like. So for instance, that first-year curriculum, your first semester could include ANP 1, which is Bio 137, Psych 110, which is Intro to Psych, Math 150, which is college algebra, and then your NA 100 if you are not currently certified SRNA. So that would be 13 credit hours. Your semester 2 would include Nursing 101 and your Bio 139. Semester 3 would include Nursing 229, Nursing 212, and English 101. So that would be your first year of your curriculum. So what this means is more than likely your first semester would need to be not a fall or spring semester. It would need to be a winter term or a summer term to get these classes done if you wanted to stay on a 2-year curriculum. Most of our students, I will say, will take that first semester of classes in fall or spring and then take additional science or math courses over the summer and then begin the nursing program. So this is just an example. This is not something that you have to follow to a T. This, again, is just an example if you wanted to follow a 2-year curriculum. Once you are in the nursing program, it is very prescriptive. So Nursing 101 comes before your second semester courses, which is Nursing 219 and Nursing 212. Those come before your third semester nursing courses, which is Nursing 229 and Nursing 211, which come before your fourth semester nursing courses, which is Nursing 239 and Nursing 213. So again, you can just see a very broad overview if you followed a 2-year curriculum. Our program total credit hours is between 62 and 65 credit hours, depending if you need that nurse aid course. So many times, once a student has been selected for our nursing program, they become shell-shocked when they see the amount of time commitment that it takes to be a nursing student. Please treat the nursing program when you are accepted like a full-time, full credit load position. So we always tell our Nursing 101 students to prepare yourselves to be busy Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 p.m. I've taken a Nursing 101 calendar to give you an example of what that looks like. So I will bring your attention to the very top where it says calendar is subject to change and it is highlighted. That is on every single calendar in our nursing program. It's on there because we need students to be aware that things happen and you need to be flexible. And when I mean things, that could be something such as the pandemic, inclement weather, sick instructors. So we need to make sure that we are able to accommodate student learning needs, and sometimes that would indicate a change for our calendar. We try very, very hard to not make any changes. However, it is a possibility. So I will review this calendar with you so you can get a good idea of what is expected and what a daily life looks like for a Nursing 101 student. So let's just go to that first day, Wednesday the 1st. So you have pharmacology lecture from 8 to 10, and that's just the room number of where that takes place. Then you have a meds lecture from 10 to 12. After that is lab, medication demo, and lab is broken up into 2 different groups. So different groups will come at different times, but from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. would be lab, and then there is an assignment due at 4 p.m. So then on Thursday, you can see that lecture is from 8 to 10, and then there is lab practice. So I want to move down a little bit, and let's go to the week of the 13th. So you can see on the 13th, there's an exam from 8 to 10, and after that, there's medication practice, so a lab from 10 to 2 p.m. Then clinicals start. So once clinicals start, you are on campus less. So I will say that you're on campus usually twice a week. So plan for 2 days a week being on campus, pretty much full days depending on what's happening that day. But let's say that you're assigned clinical on a Tuesday. So if you're assigned clinical on Tuesday, then Thursday would be an open day for you, and vice versa. So if you're assigned a clinical day on Thursday, then Tuesday would be a free day for you. So you can expect and see how that kind of plays out on this calendar. So you'll have 2 days on campus and then a clinical practice day. Fridays, we tend to avoid having class or having any actual face-to-face obligations on Fridays. However, we have had to put things on Fridays, particularly if we've had many inclement weather cancellations or something that would result in making up class. So this just gives you a good broad overview of what life of a Nursing 101 student would look like. So I do want to take a moment and give some information about our estimated cost for our nursing program. This is an approximate, this is an estimation. It is our total nursing program cost estimate. So this includes those 4 semesters of the nursing program. It does not include the prerequisite/co-requisite general education courses. And that total cost comes close to that $14,000 mark. Now this is something I like to highlight, and I'm very proud because I think that Henderson offers one of the most affordable options for our students to become nurses. So I definitely want you to take that into consideration and do your research to make sure that this is the best option and most affordable option for you. We do offer financial aid on our campus. So make sure that when you are applying to our college that you do speak to financial aid to see if you have any need for financial assistance that they can take care of. But this is something that I wanted to highlight to show the affordability of our college. So you've returned your application, you have all those documents submitted for the admission process. When will you know if you've been selected? So we do want you to know that our Nursing Admissions Committee meets after the deadline of March 1st or September 1st to gather all the applicants. Those candidates are ranked by that point scoring system, and admissions committee will meet to decide what candidates are selected based on that scale to be placed in our vacant seats. They work as quickly as possible, and then Ms. Walker will send out approval or denial letters to the candidates who were placed in that admission cycle. So that typically happens within about a month. So for our March 1st candidates, you should expect to hear something about April or mid-April. And for our September 1st candidates, you should expect to hear something around October. What we need from you is when you receive that letter of acceptance, if you do receive the letter of acceptance, you need to make sure that you accept or deny your seat by the deadline given by Ms. Walker. If we do not have an acceptance from you by the deadline that Ms. Walker sets, then another candidate on that ranking list will be given your seat. So definitely make sure you show good communication and get that acceptance or denial of your seat returned to Ms. Walker by that deadline. So why should you choose HCC? HC is a wonderful place for students to be. So I thought, since we are student friendly and student oriented, that I would ask our students what they have to say about why they chose HCC or why they love HCC. So some of them would have said the following: my teachers cared about my success, small class sizes, set standards to be the best of yourself, caring and supportive learning environment, smart choice, cost effective. My instructors care about me. I feel prepared to start my nursing career, and HCC is the best there is. So those are just a few reasons why some of our students chose HCC, and we hope that you'll choose HCC. So what are some additional reasons why you should choose HCC? We are fully approved by the Kentucky Board of Nursing. We are fully accredited through the Accreditation Commission for Education and Nursing, also known as ACEN. This is extremely important. You want to make sure that you choose a school that is accredited. This is important for educational opportunities and advanced education after you complete with us. We are affordable, as mentioned on the previous slide. You can receive your RN within 2 years, which is outstanding. This is a quick education that allows you to get into the workforce sooner. And you will take the same boards that a BSN prepared nurse would take. So what happens is, after you complete the nursing curriculum, you must sit for a licensure exam known as the NCLEX. That NCLEX allows you to earn that registered nurse designation. And with that designation, you can practice in any of the areas where a BSN prepared nurse will be. Now, we do encourage all of our students to continue on for their RN to BSN. However, many of our employers will offer educational assistance and tuition reimbursement for you to earn that degree. And many of our students, I'd say the majority of our students, are already enrolled in an RN to BSN school completely online, so that by the time they come to graduation. So that allows them to not only work full-time, but also continue with their education. We do have 100% employability by the time of graduation, so our employers want nurses. So you never have to be fearful of having a job and looking in the workforce for an opportunity. These employers in our area want our nurses. We do offer transfer guidance to BSN programs. So what that means is we do have a transfer coordinator on our campus that will work directly with you to help you choose the best BSN school for you. We have consistent NCLEX pass rates that have been above the national average, and we have caring faculty that want you to succeed. So they work extremely hard to prepare you to be successful and safe practitioners in the workforce. So we've covered a lot today with this pre-admission conference. However, it might not have answered every one of your questions. So if you do have further questions, again, I would advise you to look at our nursing webpage found at that link, HCC nursing webpage, or feel free to reach out to myself at that information found there, or Ms. Walker. We would be happy to help guide you through this admission process, answer any questions, and we would love to have you join us at HCC. Thank you for taking time to listen to this presentation and gain a better understanding of important information. We hope that you will choose HCC. We would love for you to be part of our story.